Imagine what your life would look like if you stopped accepting the barriers placed in front of you. Welcome to Limitless Living with Purpose and Joy, the podcast dedicated to discovering the alternatives. Each week, we tackle the 3 hurdles of limitations that get in our way: the external pressures of society, the internal noise of self-doubt, and the physical challenges that try to slow us down. Together, we will uncover the solutions to help us live our best lives. And now, your host, Trace Kingham.
Welcome to Limitless Living with Purpose and Joy. I am Trace Kingham, and I'm excited about today's episode. I have an amazing individual joining us. I have joined and met Sharonda through Suzanne Roberts' work on the Great Reconnection, and we're in a mastermind class together, and we just have crossed paths so many times. I approached Sharonda and said, I need you to be on this podcast because I think it would be an amazing conversation. So I'd like to welcome Sharonda Crome to the stage. Welcome to Limitless Living with Purpose and Joy.
Thank you. Thank you. I am so excited about the opportunity to speak with you in this way.
Well, thank you again. And today we're going to just open up our conversation with talking about what does limitless living mean to you, Sharonda? When you hear that limitless living, what conjures up inside of you, and what would you share to those listening that limitless living means to you?
Yeah. The first thing that comes to mind is liberation. And by liberation, I mean liberation from all the things. I am not bound, held back. I'm not compliant in holding myself back. Yeah, liberation. To say that word just has so much air.
It so does. That's amazing. I think when I thought about doing this podcast, I truly thought, yes, my story and my stories of my life really lean in on limitless living, but it's always comes back to what you just said, liberation, giving myself permission to dream and to go
Yes.
after that dream.
Yes.
And despite all the things that we are going to you need to overcome to get there, whether that be our internal conversation and hurdles that we have, I call them hurdles, external voices and rules and societal norms that don't want you to live your best life. They want to control us and keep us in a certain way. Um,
Yes.
and then there's those physical things that I've shared with many on this podcast. But it all comes back to what you just shared. It's liberating ourselves to be able to fulfill those dreams and never quit dreaming, no matter what age you are. So let's talk a
Yes.
little bit about who is Sharonda Crome. And what are your dreams, and what are you pursuing right now? I think there's some great things that I've learned, and I'd love to talk about how you got there.
Okay. Well, who am I? I could talk about my roles of, wife, mother, sister, daughter, friend. Yes, those things are true. And from the work that we've been doing, I am also a soul. Um, and part of my journey is to connect more with that, and listen deeper and move from that space. Um, that's liberating because that is beyond the mind,
Yes.
right?
Mhm.
So yeah, that's the essential granular down to the very last detail, of who I am. I am this soul who is experiencing lots of things.
Mm. As we do, yes. So
Yeah.
What are some of those things that you're experiencing that, really give you that fulfillment that your soul is looking for or maybe has been brought to this space and time
Yeah.
to do?
I As I listen and, you know, work inwardly, I I feel let me rephrase that. I actually know that I am to be an invitation. So as I deepen in my own self and, you know, realize more and more um, of what my soul is calling me to do, part of that for my agenda, I guess,
Mhm,
is to because I'm like, whoa, this is actually possible. Like I can I don't have to think so much.
mm,
And excuse me, to be an invitation, to get out of our minds a little bit more and into our bodies and into our souls journey a little bit more. Um, you know, 0.05% each day,
mhm,
or whatever my capacity is for in that moment, but to be receptive. My journey is to be receptive, which is, excuse me, interesting because I, as a human being, I don't have, I haven't in the past had what I would think as the capacity to receive
mm,
because I did it all.
mm,
And so to just say out loud right now that part of my soul's journey is to be receptive is ironic, and it makes me pause like, "Oh, the thing that I've been avoiding is the lesson I need to learn." Okay.
mhm.
Okay. I hear
And what
you.
ha and what has prevented you from maybe speaking that out loud? The doing,
Mhm.
the finding value with the things that we produce? Busy, staying busy, avoiding, those are all the things that I know happened for me, that I've been
Yeah.
doing. So, what about you, Sharonda? What have you been doing before you got to this place where you know that your soul is meant to be receptive?
Yeah. Um, you know, I from a young age had to take care of things.
Mm,
Uh, that was a responsibility that I stepped in and filled. You know,
mhm,
I didn't feel safe enough at that time for the people around me to step in and do the due diligence. So I that's what I did. And so that's what got me by. That's what some of it is the value and worth. Um but a lot of it is I'm responsible. And by that I mean I'm responsible for it all,
mm,
right? I'm responsible for the safety of not only me, but my family, my siblings. I'm responsible for um, everything going well
mm,
in the midst
interesting.
of finding some space in the chaos.
Mm,
And so that translated as I grew, so that I'm carrying this. I'm responsible within me, and response translates to no, I can't receive your support.
mm. Very interesting. I think that for me, as you're sharing this, I'm thinking about all the things that I felt that I needed to be responsible for, which wasn't really my responsibility, but I took that all on, and I've
Mhm.
carried that into my adulthood,
Mhm.
and that has been my focus. I have to do it all. I have to take care of my husband, my children, my mother, everyone in my life. I need to do, because that's how I felt that I was valued.
Mhm.
And that distracted me or took me away from my soul's journey here. My soul's
Mhm.
purpose, I think, is the right way to phrase that.
Mhm.
So the work that we've been doing together of quieting that mind and those external noises, I guess, is the right thing, that, the social media, there's so much more that can distract us.
Yes.
Television,
Yes.
going out and and luckily I didn't turn to other things to distract me like alcohol or drugs. Those are a big distractor to
Yeah.
really escape from your soul. It
Yeah.
really focuses everything in the mind, and, I'm just thankful that I didn't go down that path, but, for those that
Mm.
have, getting the support is so important because it's never too late. It's never too late, no matter what age you might be. And I've always shared on this podcast that you have the inherent birthright to do and be whoever you need to be and are supposed to be, despite all of the circumstances around you. And
That's right.
and it's interesting. I learned something too, because for me being gay, I always kind of looked at that as a barrier that I didn't know how to sometimes overcome. Um,
Mhm.
but for whatever reason, I allowed myself to just continue going after the things that I wanted at the time, being that cheerleader, being parents, doing the things that
Mhm.
society was
Yes.
saying, no, 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 no. So I'm very thankful, but that I had that internal voice, but now I've learned how to really tune in and listen to that internal voice. And that culminates into what we're doing here today of having, speaking to individuals about how others can really live a life that they've dreamt of or are dreaming of at, like I said, at any age, at any time. So, what kind of things are you doing right now to live out your limitless life? I know that you've got some working on some fun things and would love to hear what
Yeah.
those are. And if you'd share, can maybe inspire someone that hears your story of like, I've always had the idea of doing that. Maybe I should try
Yeah.
it. What's feeding your soul right now?
Oh, what's hitting my soul right now? A couple of juicy things I have brewing. Excuse me. One is my brand that has evolved from many iterations, but this is the deepest and most practiced part of me. It's an extension of that.
Mm,
And that is called Stillness in Contact. With Stillness in Contact, there's ways to connect, either through a 7-day experience or through purchasing a mala to support you through a um, part of your journey that you're focusing on in the moment. And it's really about resting deep within ourselves so that we can become aware of what is our strategy or habit, or what structures, familial, um, religious structures have instilled in us, and to really listen to what is actually the truth about who I am.
mm,
And then having that space to see that there's actually a choice. It's not only the structure, the structure, the structure, the other
mm,
voice, the other voice. That's not mine, right?
mhm,
Sounds like me sometimes, but that's not my voice.
mhm.
So to have something else to that's deeper and truer inside to connect to gives me choice, right? So now I can say, "Oh, uh-huh. Well, this here is telling me that I have to be small. My soul is telling me that you deserve to be present. Which one am I going to choose here?"
Mhm.
Now, and choose consciously if I decide in any moment that I'm going to hang out in the small part of myself here.
Mhm.
But I'm choosing it consciously. It's not automatic, and I'm not making it a bad part of me,
Mhm.
right? How can I make what helped me survive? How can I make that a bad part? There's no bad
Right.
parts,
Right.
right?
None. Mhm.
And so from that space, now I have the opportunity to make a choice that is life affirming, right? What I call life affirming. That means
Mhm.
that it's pointing me more towards my true soul identity. That doesn't mean I'm going to like it, right? So
Yeah.
it's all a practice of choosing again and again and again with support,
Mhm.
right? We have audio practices, written words, ways to be involved with me directly through stillness and contact. Um,
Nice.
and then the cousin to stillness and contact is the jewelry side, which
Mhm.
is stone and signal, which has also evolved. Um, because in the previous iteration, I really do enjoy creating jewelry with a meaning. Um, but as stillness and contact started coming more forward, this new iteration also started coming more forward. And it's
Mhm.
more about choosing a piece that reminds you. It can remind you of your courage. It can remind you of your inner fire, your um, the beauty, inward or outward, you know? Um,
Mhm.
so their pieces just simply remind of us of, who we really are at our core. Stillness and contact is more about practicing becoming alive with who we really are in our core.
I love that. That's great, and I've seen the jewelry, it's beautiful, it all has meanings that you created those beautiful pieces, so I encourage
Thank
anyone
you.
listening to search that out and find Sharonda and take a peek because it's beautiful stuff, and I think
Thank
it
you.
really resonates with me of, it's always great to have and I don't wear something, but that really resonated with me 'cause that could remind me of I am so much more than what I've been told I was. Or,
Right.
and again, I think you made a really great point earlier about acknowledging those that we have now coined possibly sometimes, and I learned this just recently in a retreat that we did with Suzanne a few weeks ago, that it's okay for those feelings that or those actions that we took to make sure we survived the circumstances that we were in,
That's right.
and now acknowledge those, and they can live in our house, but they don't rule the house any longer.
That's right. That's
And
right.
so I
You
think that's
know,
a really cool way that she shared that.
yeah, I agree. It's like until I started in that work that we are in
Mhm.
together, um, I thought it was something to fix, right? Oh, I
Right.
need to
Yeah.
fix, this thing. Number one, to try and fix it is really not sustainable because guess what? We're still going to have circumstances that draw that old practice up,
Mhm.
right? And we
Right.
get to say, because I pay the bills in my house, so I get to say
Mhm.
what's allowed, you
Mhm.
know? I had to give
Right.
myself my own authority, right? To say, okay, listen, I understand what you're trying to do for me right here, and I'm trying this new thing. So hang out
Mhm.
here with me as I
I see
try
you.
this new thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I see you.
And if I need you, you'll come. You're there for me. I'll call you up.
Mhm. You've been a great help in
So,
the past, so thank you for that, you know?
yeah.
That
And you
that
might still be a great help in the future,
Sure.
right? When if I'm not grounded and paying attention, or I get a startle or an annoyance, and I want that reflex to go into my habit comes up, I get to say, "Oh, that's happening.
Mhm.
Take a beat. Is that what you want to do here?"
Yeah. Instead of just unconsciously going there. That's what I love about
Yeah.
this work. You know,
Yeah.
it's allowed me to, and I've shared on this podcast all the things I went through as a child and all those
Mhm.
emotions and those behaviors that protected me and kept me safe
Mhm.
and now I have a choice as Trace Kingham to say, no, that's from the past. That has no reality base right now when I really look at the circumstances that I'm in. It's
Mhm.
just old habits coming up and saying, you should be afraid, you should run, you should be small, you should whatever it might be. I can say no, and it really has helped me, and really living out that limitless life that I'm moving towards. You
Yes.
know? It's allowing me to move forward versus being stuck. So if you're feeling
Yes.
stuck, I always say just start practicing quieting the noise. Sitting, you can call it meditation, you could call it just a 10 minutes of silence, whatever that might be for
That's right.
you, and it takes practice. I mean, it takes practice to get there,
For sure.
because your mind races and it doesn't wanna do that, and, it's the mind wants to stay in forefront. I'm here," and it takes a while for you to learn how to just let it be and acknowledge it and say, "Okay, you're there, it's fine," and then next thing you know, you're connecting in little bits, and then it just gets every time you do it, it gets a little more and a little more, and then things start to come, ideas that are gonna help you be your true self.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. My silent place, my silent practice was journaling. Um,
Nice.
because from stream of conscious. So that means pen to paper for a set amount of time and just go. Even if I'm starting out with I don't know what to say right now. I could write half a page of that, and then something will emerge, right?
Mhm. Right.
That has been a really awesome practice for me that I continue even now,
Mm.
um, because the brain racing, and that won't stop. And so I had to figure out a way for me to be, here we are again, receptive to what is trying to come through, all of the noise, all of the thoughts, all of the conditioning. So, um, yeah, stream of consciousness,
Mhm.
writing.
So let me ask you another question. For anyone that might be struggling with finding, maybe they're going through a really rough situation right now. Maybe it's a relationship going in a wrong direction
Mhm,
for them, or a child that is, now an adult and doesn't want to have anything to do with them. I mean, I'm just trying to sort of think of
mhm.
really struggling right now, whether they lost a job. We had someone on the podcast who lost their job and their struggle through that. We're all going to be every day, something comes our way that maybe we
That's right.
didn't expect or hoped was a different outcome, might have just learned that they're, going to have to go struggle a diagnosis of maybe cancer or something. What advice would you give our listeners when they get the news and they're really just kind of frozen or in shock? what advice would you give someone that has really received some bad news and just doesn't
Yeah.
know what to do with that?
Well, I have learned to move a little bit away from advice. Now this is what I do.
Mhm.
And I offer myself to be a silent witness to start, you know?
Mhm.
I think silent witnessing is it's such a profound thing, and I feel like it's underutilized, you know?
Mhm.
Um to be a silent witness while someone is experiencing a very rough time, and to have someone sit there with you in it,
Mhm.
and I don't have to talk until you are ready for me to talk, you know?
Right.
And so the key to that is being present with someone. Let I let that happen, you
Mm.
know?
Mhm.
Um and then what will emerge from there, you know? So if I'm giving advice, I have learned because I used to give, and sometimes may still,
Mhm.
give the absolute what I thought was the absolute best advice, and I
Mhm.
have an agenda in you following my advice. I wanna see an
Mm.
outcome, and I wanna see
Mhm.
the good outcome based on what I've told you to do.
Mm.
Right?
Very interesting, yes.
Right. So, you know,
Mhm.
batten down that hatch, pivotal.
And let it be, yeah.
Let
You
it
know,
be.
we did that in that weekend together that we were all together as a group. We did a 3-day retreat with Suzanne Roberts, who was, on this podcast, and her book
Yes,
is deeper than
Suzanne.
that, and she has the Great Reconnection that we were part of, and
Yes.
I was going through some stuff in that group that
Yep.
surprised me a bit,
Yep.
and what was so comforting that because it is that the group was there. No one was speaking. No one was sharing, "Oh, you need to do this. Are you okay? Would you like a tissue?" Or
Yeah.
the group allowed me to feel what I needed to feel, and I felt safe. I felt
That's it.
safe. I felt loved. I felt important, whatever the words are for you. I just felt like I was supported, and that if I needed something, I would verbalize what I needed and it would be there for me.
That's right.
And so
That's right.
that is huge, for anyone that's going through something, is to if you're experiencing it yourself, is really find that individual, that group, and just be there and let you and feel it. And the answers are there. The answers are inside of you. Is what you're hearing true? Because sometimes it has to go through
Uh-huh.
that filter of
Yes,
your
that's right.
mind. You know,
That's
is
right.
it really true what I'm feeling, or is it, you know? And then if you have someone that is going through a rough time, it's like you say, really, it was just such an amazing feeling to have, knowing they were there. I was supported, I was loved, and I was able to work through that, and some surprising things came up for me of
Mhm.
and now I realize what some of the feeling small has come from,
Mhm.
you know? So it's
Yeah.
really was an interesting, so which has freed me, now to be able to do more and go pursue more of my life that I wanna live, that limitless life that I have dreamt of, to be happier. I mean, I'm much happier now because I feel like I now know what that is. I've given myself the permission to
Yes.
feel it, and it's gonna
Yes.
come up, like you say, we just talked about earlier. It's still there. It's never gonna go away, but now I know I
Right.
have a better idea of what that's all about, what that meaning of that is, and it's not limiting me. That's really what this is
Yes.
all about. It's like, let's find ways to give us permission to live our best lives.
Isn't it comforting or relieving at least to know that I am not a problem that needs to be fixed?
Mhm.
I am a being who wants to live and express, right?
Yeah.
And it's also scary to accept the truth that I'm a being who wants to express itself.
Mhm.
And in this instance, I'm expressing myself as a Black woman,
Mhm.
right? So that I can know the experience, so that my soul can know the experience of being a Black woman called Sharonda.
Mhm.
Other than Sharonda, there's so much wrong with me. I need to fix myself so that I can be accepted.
Mm.
What
Wow.
the heck? What?
Wow.
What?
Guilty as charged.
Right,
I
right,
mean,
right.
as a gay man, for sure, I gotta fix
Oh
that.
my goodness.
I gotta act gay. I can't act gay out in the world, you know? I mean,
Oh,
it's yeah, good
that's
stuff.
right. That's right. So, as you are expressing yourself freely and joyously, some people may hate it, and some people are like, "Wow, that I you're showing me that I can do that too."
Mhm.
I really would much rather be in company of the people who want to practice this invitation rather than the company of people who, you know, hate it and want to
Conform.
dehumanize and yeah,
Wanna
good
wanna be
grief.
part of the conformity. Yeah, the caste
So they
system.
can feel comfortable or they can feel
Mhm.
righteous or, whatever.
Mhm.
I try as much as possible to extend grace even to
Yep.
those that I don't quote unquote like.
Mhm.
Everyone deserves grace. So that's
Mhm.
part of my practice, right?
Right.
Because I'm less of Sharonda, more of the soul. That means I got to do some stuff that Sharonda may not like or be comfortable with.
Mm.
But I tell you what, I got your back if anybody's in my presence wants to
Mhm.
be silly and say or do things. We're not having it. That's Sharonda and soul speaking
Yeah.
in that moment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. Well, let's before we wrap this up, I really want to just share how gracious I am that we've had the opportunity to meet and share some of these experiences together. It really has been life
Yes.
changing.
Yes,
Um,
for sure.
and I really want to, anyone that wants to get in contact with you, what's the best way to reach you? What's the best way to say, "Hey, Sharonda, what I heard resonated. I'd like to learn more about your jewelry. I'd love to learn more about your
Yeah.
work." Where can they find
You
you?
can actually reach out to me at heysharonda@gmail.com.
I love that. I
Right?
love that.
Um, yeah. So that's a really fine way to get in
Mhm.
touch with me. And based on that interaction, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, and I encourage you to reach out because Sharonda is a gem, and it's been a delight to know you, get to know you, and just knowing that you and the others in our great reconnection group are there for
Yes.
all of us. It's
Yes.
truly it's just truly life-changing. I don't know how else to say it other than I've learned so much in such a short amount of time that, again, it reinforces that we're not too old. It's never too late. I've
Never
got a
too late.
milestone birthday coming up, so it's never too late. I'm excited about the future. We've got so much happening that I'm working towards, and I know you are as well. So it's exciting to watch it all unfold and see where
Yes.
where this souls are taking us.
Yes. Yes. As the elders, my elders would say, as long as you have breath in your body,
Mhm,
you know? So,
mhm. Well, very good. Well, thank you for joining us on today's episode. I appreciate it. And again, thank you for joining Limitless Living with Purpose and Joy. If you enjoyed this podcast as much as I did, please share it, like it, subscribe so you don't miss a single episode. And I look forward to having you join us on our next episode and enjoy the rest of your day. Take care.
Thanks for listening to Limitless Living with Purpose and Joy. Subscribe and follow. New episodes are released every Wednesday. Find the show on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Amazon, or wherever you get your podcasts. Visit limitlesslivingwithpurposeandjoy.com for show notes.